मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितान्तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, we are reading from the chapter 16, which talks about many demonic qualities, and today we will be discussing verse number 16, 17, and if time permits, verse number 18. So Haladar Das Prabhuji will guide us how to chant verse number 16 Sanskrit part. Hare Krishna Mat Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please, yeah.
Okay. Dhanyavad Mataji, Hare Krishna. My humble obeisance to all the devotees on the phone calls. So we are on chapter 16, text number 16, on page number 629 in English Bhagavad Gita. So the wordings are Aneka Chitta Vibranta Mohajala Tamavritaha Prasaktaha Kamabhogeshu Patanti Narakeshu Chau. So very easy to sing, Aneka Chitta Vibranta Mohajala Samavritaha Prasaktaha Kamabhogeshu Patanti Narakeshu Chau. Please try it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. अनेक चित्त विभ्रांता मोहजाल समावृताः प्रसक्ताः काम भोगेषु पतन्ति नरकेषु च। हरि बोल।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srimati is reading. Aneka chitta vibranta moha jala samavrita prasakta kama bhogeshu patanti narakeshu chau. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prasad reading. अनेक चित्त विभ्रांता मोहजाल समावृता प्रसक्ता काम भोगेषु पतन्ति नरके अश्रुतो. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Harshada speaking. अनेक चित्त विभ्रांता मोहजाल समावृता प्रसक्ताः कामभोगेषु पतन्ति नरकेषु च। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण। अनेक चित्त विभ्रांता मोहजाल समावृतः प्रसक्तः कामभोगेषु पतन्ति नरकेषु च। हरे कृष्ण।
Anybody else would like to
Hare
add this
Krishna.
word?
अनेक चित्त विभ्रांत मोहजाल समावृता असक्ता काम भोगेषु पतन्ति नरके अशुचौ. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I want to read. Please give me the sloka number.
It's 16, Mataji, 16.16.
अनेक चित्त विभ्रांताः मोहजाल समावृताः प्रसक्ताः काम भोगेषु पतन्ति नरकेषु च. Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we will do word to word by word meaning of this verse. Aneka means numerous. Chitta means by anxieties. It's very interesting that chitta, it is come from the word chitta means consciousness, and it is translated here by uh, chitta means by anxieties. Vibrantaha means perplexed. Moha means of illusion. Jala by the network. Samavrataha means surrounded. Prasaktaha means attached. Kama bhogeshu means to sense gratification. Patanti means they glide down. Narake into hell. Ashuchaha means unclean. Again, in this chapter, we see this ashucha so many times. So here the unclean is used for the, let's see what is it used for. I will just go through the translation purport and we will see these words, I mean meaning of these words again. Thus perplexed by the various anxieties and bound by a network of illusion, they become too strongly attached to the sense enjoyment and fall down into the hell. And that hell is a sucha. It's an unclean hell. And why you go? Because your mind is unclean. So, and mind becomes unclean because of lot of distraction. Aneka means numerous type of anxiety or attractions in this material world that causes the anxiety, and that then make our minds diluted or unclean, or it becomes dirty, and that is what is the cause of going or falling down to the hellish planet. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sumati Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes, Mataji. Purport by Sri Prabhupada, Sri Prabhupada ki jai. The demonic man knows no limit to his desire to acquire money. That is unlimited. He thinks only of how much assessment he has just now and schemes to engage that stock of wealth further and further. For that reason, he does not hesitate to act in any sinful way and so deals in the black market for illegal gratification. He is enamored by the possessions he has already, such as land, family, house, and bank balance, and he is always planning to improve them. He believes in his own strength, and he does not know that whatever he is gaining is due to his past good deeds. He is given an opportunity to accumulate such things, but he has no conception of past causes. He simply thinks that all his mass of wealth is due to his own endeavor. A demonic person believes in the strength of his personal work, not in the law of karma. According to the law of karma, a man takes his birth in a high family, or becomes rich, or very well educated, or very beautiful because of good work in the past. The demonic think that all these things are accidental and due to the strength of one's personal ability. They do not sense any arrangement behind all the varieties of people, beauty, and education. Anyone who comes into competition with such a demonic man is his enemy. There are many demonic people, and each is enemy to the others. This enmity becomes more and more deep between persons, then between families, then between societies, and at last between nations. Therefore, there is constant strife, war, and enmity all over the world. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Harshita Mataji, would you like to read the next paragraph?
Hare
Okay, well,
Krishna.
yeah, go ahead.
Each demoniac person thinks that he can live at the sacrifice of all others. Generally, a demoniac person thinks of himself as a supreme god, and a demoniac preacher tells his followers, "Why are you seeking God elsewhere? You are all yourselves God. Whatever you like, you can do. Don't believe in God. Throw away God. God is dead." These are demoniac preachings.
Yes, complete Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Although the demoniac person sees others equally rich and influential, or even more so, He thinks that no one is richer than he and no one is more influential than he. As far as promotion to the higher planetary system is concerned, he does not believe in performing yajnas or sacrifices. And demons think that they will manufacture their own process of yajna and prepare some machine by which they will be able to reach any higher planet. The best example of such a demoniac man was Ravana. He offered a program to the people by which he could prepare a staircase so that anyone could reach the heavenly planets without performing sacrifices, such as are prescribed in the Vedas. Similarly, in the present age, such demoniac men are striving to reach the higher planetary systems by mechanical arrangements. These are examples of bewilderment. The result is that without their knowledge, they are gliding towards hell. Here, the Sanskrit word mohajal is very significant. Jal means net. Like fish caught in a net, they have no way to come out.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So we will go that word to word. I was saying that aneka chitta means the numerous type of anxieties, or when there are so many, in the second chapter it is said that like in so many direction we are pulled, that it is a multi-directional mind. That mind is not focused, and all the time it is thinking about how to uh, how to make ourselves available for more sense enjoyment, how to make ourselves fit to enjoy more and more in this life, and how to increase the resources that will give me enjoyment. So in this anxiety, and when there are so many uh, ways to enjoy, like these, we have only five senses, and sixth is our mind, which is controlling all these five senses. But there are so many things in this material world that we can enjoy with these five senses, that people keep on thinking about, like collecting those and growing more and more and more those. For that they have to acquire money, and then to acquire money they have to give their mind and intelligence and other energies towards it. And in this way, when they are completely caught up into that net, that like, I want to increase the money, whatever I have is not sufficient, because whatever money I have today, I will go and I will enjoy with that some sense gratification. Once that is done, I will feel that, oh, there are better things that I can, acquire to satisfy my senses. Today I'm eating something at home, nice food. Tomorrow I feel that I will eat here in this particular restaurant. Day after tomorrow I feel that like, oh, five-star restaurant is better. And so our senses never ever get satisfied. I mean, that is a truth, that senses will never get satisfied, and more you try to satisfy it, more and more you feed it, the hunger will grow more and more and more. It is like putting the oil in the fire, and that way when this hunger grows, then there is a need of a money. Then when there is a need of a money, you either do it legal way or illegal way, but anyway you want to collect that money so that you will satisfy your senses. And all these is like, putting you into that network, that it is never ending, that you will complete one demand of the sense and there will be 10 others. You will complete 10 other and there will be 100 others. And so like that you will go deep and deep and deep into, caught up into that network of illusion, that one day I will satisfy my senses. It is an illusion. You will never ever able to satisfy these senses. And also it is an illusion that comes on this journey, is that I am a god. Because when you are trying to satisfy your senses, the most satisfaction you get by controlling others, by proving others lower than you and putting yourself higher than others. So these are the mental satisfaction. These are more dangerous than the sense gratification. So when you are after the mental satisfaction, you are hungry for the respect from others, you are hungry to prove yourself better than others, then that becomes more and more dangerous. And that time you become illusion more and more, that I'm better than others. because humility is so much important if you want to grow in spiritual life. But here it is becoming exactly opposite. Here you are becoming more and more pride and dambha. Dambha means, like, showing off what you are not. Even if you don't have that qualities, you are still want to show off that. And pride means like showing off whatever I have. So all this will keep on increasing, and that will take away your complete mental satisfaction, or mental peace. And that disturbance will again increase your illusion, because then once you are disturbed, your mental peace is gone. You will not be able to see the things as they are. You will not be able to uh, see what is right and what is wrong, and that is what is called as a illusion or bewilderment. So this illusion that I'm not able to see things as they are will grow so much that I will not be able to see that Krishna, who is sitting in my heart, who is controlling all this world, who is the ultimate controller and enjoyer of this world. But instead of that, because of this illusion, I will start thinking that I am the enjoyer and I am the controller. And like that, and that leads to exploiting not only resources but exploiting people also. And that becomes more and more demonic activities will grow, and demonic mentality will grow more and more inside you. And finally you will become so much attached to that sense enjoyment that you will one day fall down. And then demonic person, he starts, it is said that Prabhupada is saying in the purport that the demonic person thinks that he can live at the sacrifice of all others. So this is also outcome out of the mentality that I am the God, I am the Lord, I am better than others. And you see that, like, at least in India, when you go to the small villages, these landlords and then whoever are the, kind of the leaders, they exploit people like anything. I was just talking about one of my friend that in India, a person, uh, he's doing the body shopping in a way that he's taking the people. There is so much poverty and so much density in India because of the population, that people don't get the job. So he take the people to Saudi and other countries, eastern countries, and use them there and give them very minimum salary of, like, 20,000, 22,000, and then literally exploit them. And he's having so many huge bungalows in India, but he's like exploiting people. And by sacrificing their energy, they are staying away from their family and friends. And that all the sacrifices these people are doing, but the cost, I mean, on the cost of that, like, sacrifices, he is enjoying more. The person who is like using them, he's enjoying them more, he's getting more money than these people. So they can live on the sacrifices of other. That means literally that he is making others to do sacrifices, and he's trying to enjoy on or building upon that sacrifices. Sometimes we do sacrifices for our own people, and that is fine, but it is more dangerous to make others do sacrifices and enjoy on that sacrifices. And generally this demonic person, then, because he thinks that, like, I am the Lord, I'm the supreme, I'm superior than them. It won't start like directly that I am the Lord, but he thinks that, okay, intellectually I'm superior, or, like, I'm financially superior. And that gives him, like, kind of, he feels that that gives me rights to exploit this person, and that gives me right to take advantage of them. That gives me right that they will do sacrifice by them, that sacrifice for me. And this mentality will grow slowly, and one day he will think that, like, I'm the God, and he will start disbelieving in God. He'll say that there is no other God. Even the leaders, they will start propagating that, like, you are God, you are you yourself for God. So do not, like, bend upon anyone else, and try to take a full advantage of everyone, and try to lead a godly life. So this is something like godly life is very, I mean, they use it very wrongly. It is not like a godly life that is spiritual way, but it is saying that like means control everyone, exploit everyone, and that is how you lead the life. But we see that the Krishna, he himself, like God, who is a God of this whole universe, he teaches us that like how God doesn't want anyone's sacrifice, or he is not exploiting anyone. In fact, he is becoming a servant of these devotees. Like, he is becoming a servant of Pandavas. He is becoming servant of other great devotees. And he is showing us that like God is not having a tendency to exploit others, but he is becoming like, the more and more power you get, you should become a servant leader. You should become more and more humble, and you should try to help more and more others. And instead of becoming and lording it over, try to become like, servant, or like, servant of the servant of the servant. And that is why it is given so many times in our scripture. Prabhupada and other acharya, they stresses so much that the path to improve is to become the servant of the servant of the servant. And that is true in every sense. I mean, that is true in your material life too. People will take advantage of you. They will, they will exploit you. Yes, that is there. But you should be wise enough, and at the same time humble enough to serve others. We are not like, we don't want to create this tendency, or like we don't want to feed the water to this tendency of becoming like, lord like, and taking advantage of others. So that is very, very important lesson that we have to learn from this verse. So if there is anything else, I'm sorry, my voice is so I mean, I haven't slept well in few days, so like it affected my voice. Sorry about that. But if there is anything that you want to add to it, please go ahead. Okay, if not, we will go to the next verse and we can do discussion later. So you all take turn and repeat this shloka. Atma sambhavita stabdha धनमानमदन्विताः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञस्ते दम्भेन विधिपूर्वकम्. Hari Bol, please take turn and recite this shloka. Haladar Das Prabhuji, please.
Yeah. Atmasambhavitah stabda janamana madanvitaha yajante nam yagniste dambe navidipurvakam.
Hare Krishna. Srimati Sri Atmasambhavita stabda dhanamana madanvita yajante nama yagnaste dambe navini purvakam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harshita speaking. Atma sambhavita sabdha dhanamana madanvita yajante nama yagneste dambhena vidhipurvakam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sabrina. आत्मसं आत्मसंभाविता स्तब्धा धनमानयज्ञस्ते दम्भे विधिपूर्वकम्. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण. आत्मसंभावितः स्तब्धः धनमान मदान्वितः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते दम्भे नाम नाविधिपूर्वकम्. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण. आत्मसम्भाविता स्तब्धा धनमानमदान्विताः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते दम्भेन विधिपूर्वकम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, I can try.
Yes, please, Mataji, go ahead.
Atma sambhavita stabdha dhana manta madanvita yagyante nama yagne te dambhe na vidhi purvakam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Anybody else?
हरे कृष्ण आत्मसंभावितः स्तब्ध धनमान मदान्वितः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते दम्भेन अभिधिपूर्वकम् हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So this shloka again talks about their mental, I will say that mentality of these people. What are the faults in them in this first line? And second line says that like avidhi purvakam means without following any rules and regulation, what they do is yajna means that various type of the sacrifices, and they do it without following the rules and regulation because of their dambha vritti, or because of their pride. That dambha means that they are going to show that what they are not. They are not God, but they want to show off that they are God like. And that's why they don't even believe in the scripture. They says that like what is there in the scripture, that whatever I say that is a rule, whatever I say that is a rule and regulation. My way is the way, or there is no way. So that is the mentality of these people. So Atma Sambhavita means self complement. Sorry, self complacent. These people are self complacent. And sorry, my page is okay. Then Sambhavita means impudent. And Dhanamana or Dhanaman means the of wealth and false prestige. So self-complacent, impudent, of wealth and false prestige, mother in the delusion, uh, anvitaha, absorbed, yajante, they perform sacrifices, nama, in name only, yajante, with sacrifice, te means they, dambhe means out of pride, avidhi purvakam, without following any rules and regulations. So self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige. They sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name only, without following the rules and regulations. So it is very nicely this word name only. I mean, for the name's sake, they do these sacrifices. There is no meaning to their sacrifices. They are not the real sacrifices, but for the namesake that they are doing these sacrifices. And very nicely or very wisely, Chaitanya Chintamani Das Prabhuji, he said that like doing the Nama Sankirtan Yagya is the prime duty of everyone in this Kali Yuga. So Nama, chanting the name is our duty, but instead of that, for the name's sake, they are doing this yagya. So Sankirtan yagya, we have to do the yagya by chanting the name, but we go and do some kind of a sacrifices or a yagya just to gain the name and for the sake of the name. So that goes against the scripture, because scripture is saying from the bottom of the heart, all our acharya is also saying that in this Kali Yuga, only we have to do is chanting the name. But instead of keeping that aside, like chanting the name, we do so many various kind of the pujas, or we do like sacrifices. We become like, we call many people, and we make a big event out of it, that some spiritually, and then like there is no spirituality, there is no pure consciousness. Our focus is all on showing off. Our focus is all on displaying our opulences, and that all becomes like just a materialistic activity. And then the Nam Sankirtan, that chanting the name of the Krishna, is somewhere aside. And here we just want others to chant our name, and that is what becomes the sacrifice in this Kali Yuga. So this kind of a sacrifice, and that goes without the rules and regulation, because rules and regulations are saying that just chant the name of the Krishna and don't do anything else. But here we are trying to do these sacrifices by just searching into some scripture, website, something. and then we modify it according to our convenience. So I know few people that like they used to do that Sankashti Chaturthi that is very popular in Maharashtra. It is kept for the Lord Ganesha. So there is some way that, like, Vidhi Purvak, if you want to do it, then after the moon rise, you see the moon, and then you have to break the fast. But then so many people I had seen that they do the Sankashti and they say the people that, oh, we are doing fasting all day. But they say that, like, oh, we don't wait for the moon rise. We just do in the evening, like at a certain time whenever is our dinner time, that usual for time we follow, and we don't wait for all the other things, and, like, looking at the moon and doing all those puja. So that kind of a sacrifice or fasting that they did, that is incomplete without following a complete rules and regulation. Similarly, Ekadashi also, many people follow the Ekadashi, but they do not follow it completely. There is a Ekadashi starts after the sunset of previous day, and then you have to break the fast, after sunrise, or there is a certain time that between that only you have to break the fast. You have to break the fast with, if you had done with the nirjala, you have to break the fast with the jala. If you had done with, like, eating the fruits and all, then you have to eat some grain. So there are rules and regulations, but not everyone follow that. So that also becomes a vidhi purvak doing the ekadashi. So chanting the name, there is no vidhi to it. You can chant it anywhere, but still we chant the name by saying the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the Pancha Tattva. We offer them obeisances, and then we start our mantra. So there are many various ways and rules and regulation to do these things, but they do not believe in that, and then they say that, like, okay, this is what I'm doing, and that is the right way to do it. So this is a out of the pride, this they are disregarding these rules and regulation, and that kind of a sacrifices or that kind of a fasting will not give any benefits to them or others. In fact, that becomes a very um, disturbing situation for all the society, because if the people, innocent people, start following this person, then the scriptural rules will, like, vanish, or they will go out of, like, or they will be vanished slowly. That's why Krishna is saying that I am coming again to establish the dharma, establish the rules and regulation, because they appears to be vanished, or they appears to be gone from this world. Why is it happened? Because some Damba people, some demonic people, they started, like, misleading others by twisting and turning these rules and regulation according to their convenience, and all the innocent people started following them, and in that way people then totally forgot that what was it earlier. Like, we also try to follow what our parents and grandparents told us, they do what their parents, grandparents. But if someone somewhere had you know uh, m- misguided by some authority, and that person is doing something like totally different, that is become the parampara. So my Guru Maharaj always say one very nice story in this regard, that there was a very great guru, and he was teaching his shishya, how to do all the vidhi purvak puja and everything. And one day he was called in a temple, and he did a very grand ceremony. That was the first time that they were doing it, that kind of mantra and ritualistic activity. That was the first time that Guru was performing. So the very intelligent students, they started taking the notes and everything. And what happened in between, there was a cat who jumped into that arena. And that cat, he said, while chanting the mantra, he stopped, and he said that, like, put that cat into the basket and keep it away. And then he continued his puja, and his all his disciple, they wrote everything, including that instruction also. And then after few days, when that guru passed away, and these all devotees, his shishya, I'll not say devotees, but his disciples, they became the guru, and then they started doing these kind of a puja, and they were following the instruction as it is they wrote. And every time when there is a puja, the most brilliant student who wrote the most of the notes in detail, he just asked, where is the cat? We need a cat, and we need a basket for this puja. And every time they used to catch one cat, put it into the basket, and they thought like it is a part of a vidhi. So many things in our daily activities, or the kind of a puja, or the way we follow certain things, these became like a part of our activities just because our parents or someone had taught us. But there is a few things are like unnecessary things that is added up into it, or few very important things are taken away from that vidhi. So we have to be really wisely, regenerate, or we have to really go through all these scriptures and great acharyas to really understand what is the right vidhi, and then do the activities as per that vidhi. So it is very, very important that we use our intelligence while doing all this kind of a activities. We call it as a spiritual activity or material activity also. So that is, do not go or follow blindly. You have to really wisely understand the vidhi behind it, and then that's how you have to follow. So these demonic people, very proud they are. So they are proud of their sometime parents, proud of so-called pseudo guru, and then they proudly try to follow it, and sometimes they invent and put their own rules and regulation, and that's how they do the sacrifices which have no meaning and there is no benefit out of it. So let's read the purport, what purport is saying. Valli Mataji, would you like to read the purport?
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
Yeah.
I get my glasses. Thinking themselves in all, uh, not caring for any authority or scripture, the demonic sometimes perform so-called religious or sacrificial rites. And since they do not believe in authority, they are very impudent. This is due to illusion caused by accumulation some wealth and false prestige. Sometimes such demons take up the role of a preacher, mislead the people, and become known as religious reformers or as incarnations of God. They make a show of performing sacrifices, or they worship the demigods, or manufacture their own god. Common men advertise them as God and worship them, and by the foolish, they are considered advanced in the principles and religion, or in the principles of spiritual knowledge. They take the dress of the renounced order of life and engage in all nonsense in that dress. Actually, there are so many restrictions for one who has renounced this world. The demons, however, do not care for such restrictions. They think that whatever path one can create is one's own path. There is no such thing as a standard path one has to follow. The word avidipurvakam, meaning a disregard for the rules and regulations, is especially stressed here. The things that these things are always due to ignorance and illusion. Hare Krishna. Both of this you have already covered.
Mm. Yeah.
Very-
I did
yeah.
not read the purport before. I just thought like these are the thoughts.
Yeah,
But it's very
Avidipurvakam.
interesting. Yeah.
Mm.
Vidhi Purvakam, they do all the activities. And we had so many gurus in India. I don't want to say the names,
Mm.
but they were, wearing this, uh, I will say that orange
Mhm.
things, and
Sa-
saying that like I'm sannyasi, but they did so many illegal activities, child molestation, and so many things. Like to become the sannyasi, you need so much of a control, self control, but they haven't yet, conquered their senses, and they declare themselves as a sannyasi, and then they they just want the many disciples to follow them. I mean, I know one guru who is right now currently in the jail, but his disciple or the followers, they used to go forcefully to the people's houses who attended even his lecture once or twice, and forcefully they took away the land of that people, and they will forcefully ask them to join the ashram. And in the ashram, there were so many dirty illegal activities were going on. And then once it was all came into uh, came out, then he was caught up and he's put into the jail. Some of them, they flew away from our country. But we have to be very very careful about whom to follow and whom not to follow. Even like every sampradaya, it's not that some sampradaya are like this, some are not. In in very we are following one, but there are people that like they says that I just want to preach people, and if I have like one or two my followers who are rich, then my life is done, because they will take care of me when I will grow old. So Prabhuji, I mean, once I will have few disciple, my life is success. That's what they think. So there is no question of the spiritual growth in them or their followers. So you have to be like very careful that where you are donating your money, where you are putting your energy, whom you are following. Because if and then what things to follow and what not to follow, that is also very important. Always giving away money and doing like all sorts of these kind of activities, it's not going to be beneficial for us all the time. You have to really look inside our own heart and see that what Paramatma wants us to do, and then follow that also. So this is very important. Very nice. One article again I was reading, it was saying that humility arises from acknowledging uh, were our faults or our weak sides. So humility means that some people, they think that humility means lack of self respect. When I'm saying that oh, I'm servant of the servant, means like I don't have any self respect, but it is not like that. It is when we have a self respect, and also when I'm respecting myself, then I start respecting others also. And then instead of uh, taking advantage of them, I come into the role of servant. So humility means coming into the role of a servant. And then it is saying very nicely, was saying that how that is going to helpful for us is, in the battlefield, soldier, he understand that I don't have a ability to look at all directions. I mean, someone can put a bullet from any direction. So these soldiers, they go in such a way that some are looking into the back side, some are looking into the front side, some are sideways. So they go into the circle, and then in when they are facing the enemy, and they are very humble, because they understand that there is a need that someone should be on my back, looking for the soldier who are or my enemies who are attacking me from the backside, and I will be in the front protecting him and his backside. So like that, the sideways also they will think. So he gave a very nice article that how humility come by accepting our weak points, and by saying that these are the places I need to be improved, or these are the places I need to take help. And then this humility will help you to become acknowledge others greatness also. Because when I say that I am really weak, I can't speak very well on the subject matter of Bhagavad Gita, but these are few people who talks really nice about this Bhagavad Gita. So let me go and learn something from them, and then I will I will translate, or I will say that knowledge as it is to others. So that is how I'm going to learn how to preach Bhagavad Gita. So that is like recognizing yourself, appreciating who is better than you, and becoming like in a mode of a servant mode also. But at the same time, there is a self respect. So you have to understand all of this, that you have to there is a self respect, but still humility, and then still having the respecting others and acknowledging others. And that all is something a devotees or a very good people, you will see all these qualities, but demonic people are exactly opposite of that. There is always a pride. They don't even want to see or acknowledge others. There is no appreciation, and they always think that like whatever I know, that is enough, and I am doing is the best way. So these are some of the things that we have to be very careful, that if you see in others, then stay away from them, and if you recognize it in ourselves, then try to remove it. Okay, again, I'll take a pause here if there is anything that you want to talk, any comment.
Mataji, that I see this all. Uh, the Prakriti is doing it. Prakriti is the part of the Krishna, right? It's his energies, right? And Mother Nature is
Yes.
doing his job, her jobs. So it's been clearly indicated in, if you see the text number, chapter 13, text number 21 and 22, says Karya Karan Kartutva Hetu Prakriti Ruchate. Purusa Sukha Dukkhana Bhaktitra Hetu Ruchate. So nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the variation, suffering, and enjoyment in this world. Then in 22 it said, Purusa Prakriti Stohi Bhumte Prakriti Jan Guran Karana Guna Sangosha Sat Asad Yoni Janmashu. So it's the living entities in the material nature that follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to the association with the material nature. Thus, he meets with the good and evil among the various species. So, this is cause and effects of it, the material nature. So, I just wonder myself that how we come under the command of the material nature. What is causes, main causes, even though we have what's called a nirnayak sakti, this is in power. This is only yoni, human being, as a known, that we can determine what's good and bad, or how to be going towards the God. So the impression of the mother nature is so strong on some people. So then they try to satisfy the senses. And those are awakened a little bit, or they get the guidance of Guru Maharaj or Shastras or Sadhus, and they start knowing that where we are, what am I, and what points I'm in, what directions I'm going to. Those. So the two things I see here, Mataji, to my view, that
Hmm.
effects of the mother nature is strong on the other side, and
Yeah.
effects of the divine natures on other sides. So they're struggling each other and start blaming each other, as well.
Hmm.
Same time. Okay.
Yeah. That is the reason why we are called as a marginal energy. Margin. We are on the margin. We are on the, like a very nice example always Prabhupada gives is that we are on that place on the beach where there is one side is completely dry and the other side is the water, and water keeps coming, and this dry sand will become little bit wet for us for some time. When water is gone, when there is a scorching heat, it will become again dry again. So we are marginal energy. Sometimes we are under the influence of the matter, and sometimes we are under the influence of the spirit. We are even in the matter also. There are three gunas: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. So in the morning time, in the Brahma Murta, we are under the influence of the sattvic guna. Then in the afternoon time, we are under the influence of the rajasic guna. In evening time, we are under the influence of the tamasic guna, and so we go to the sleep. And there are many, sinful activities are done in the evening time, or after the sandhya kal, because it is the influence of the tamasic vritti. So you are right that these energies are very, very strong. This material energy, Krishna says that it is my energy, mama maya and durattaya. It is very difficult to
Mm.
overcome that. It's not easy, but he's again and again saying in Bhagavad Gita that still it is possible by surrendering unto me. And because there is a option that like it is possible that like by surrendering we can win over this maya. It is possible that we can change and we can change our mentality, our consciousness. That is why these shastras are given. If there would have been no possibilities, it would have not been given. So it is hard, but it is possible. We are very insignificant and maya is very strong, so it is very, very, it's impossible for us to, it looks impossible that how to cross a ocean by your own strength. But if you have a boat, if you have a big ship, and then there is a captain and everything is equipped, then you can cross the ocean. Not only that, if you can fly from the, you want to fly over it, you are sitting in the plane, then we crossed so many oceans and we came here. Otherwise, with our own strength, it was impossible. So taking the help of these scriptures, Guru Maharaj, and of course surrendering to Krishna and praying to the Krishna and Radharani, it is possible. We can fly over this material ocean in few minutes. You don't have to even sit in the ship and cross it for a month. Prabhupada took like 1 month to come to the America, and it takes us now 14 hours only to come here. So it is possible, and that's the reason we have to try.
That and I know the finest vidhi I've found my own experience, Mataji, that
Mm,
nothing beats the chanting Hare Krishna mantra, Really, really
mm,
the best way. It's what in a Siksastakam, it's been Guru Maharaj, I mean Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has shown it. It's Chaito Darpanamajram Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. So it to my own experience, rather than if somebody don't want to get involved in all the vidhis, the best thing is, as Guru Maharaj shown, is chanting Hare Krishna mantra.
mm. Hari Hari, yeah.
Very easy, very simple. Any
Mm,
place you can do it, and you can enjoy more and more deeper as you go, and listen your chanting properly, and improve that way. I think that the best I can, to my own experience, I would say.
mm. Yeah, very true, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for sharing that.
It saves a lot of time also, Prabhuji, because
Yes.
all these rituals, they need a preparation a lot the day before, the day after, and all these things. When Mataji said it, they are celebrating or then they are done in a very grand way. This instead of doing it for their own, they are doing danda and darpa. What they have, they are showing, and what they don't have, also they are trying to show off. Mataji, your words
Yeah.
were so nice. So whenever there is a possibility of this, they call puja or prayers, or mainly they say it is Parayana, something Havan or whatever they do in such a way that everyone wants to notice them and how they are performing and how their status is and all these things in the house or outside, how many
Mm,
people came and what are they giving and all these things also.
mm.
So
Yeah.
that is all useless and time waste. That's what I feel. This
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
sit in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
need so
Very,
many
very nice,
ingredients
Prabhuji.
to do puja.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah. And lot of food wasted.
Yeah.
Preparation
Rather than
and,
any
when
party,
you
if you
said,
do some
mhm.
spiritual activity, puja, then you get more recognition. So
Yes,
people
yes.
want to do that activity
Uh-huh.
just to get the recognition for the sake of name and showing
Yeah.
off. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes, Mataji. Hare
So
Krishna.
Mataji, this
Very
is
nice.
Gita. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Uh,
Haribo.
uh, yeah, Hare Krishna, Mataji. The thing is that yes, like you said, for fasting, one should follow the rules.
Mm.
Um, it's important, but sometimes I'm just wondering that if it's not 100% possible, like Lord Krishna also looks at the bhavna and that the devotee is trying. I'm just
Mm.
asking you. So every time it's not possible to follow the rules to the T.
Mm. Yeah. So Krishna is asking us in the form of a Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Kali Yuga to just do the chanting, not even do any other activities. And one Ekadashi thing and four regulative pay principles. These are the very doable things that Krishna is asking. But it is very true that he is just looking for a bhav. But at the same time, when it is just he's with this conception that he's just looking at the bhav, sometimes people take disadvantage of even that sentence also, and then they try to really do very little for the Krishna. They have time to do everything else. If at the job you are being asked to follow certain rules and regulation, you will definitely follow that. You are asked to come at certain time, you're asked to leave at certain time, you will definitely follow that. But when it comes to spiritual things, because Krishna is so lenient, we take so much disadvantage of that. So it is very true that Krishna is just looking for the he's a bhavagrahi Janardhan. He's just looking for your bhav. He's just looking for your love for him, and not like other activities or ritualistic thing. But few things, if you can follow, that is told by the shastra, that is told by your guru, so that helps you. Because doing this Ekadashi rules and regulation, why is that? Because by doing that kind of a fasting, you get the empowerment. So by if you are this empowerment come by doing the sacrifices. So that is very that thing we have to always keep it in mind, that like we are getting the empowerment by doing these kind of the activities. And if I'm trying to avoid that, and if I'm saying that like let me just do here and there, then that kind of empowerment you will not get it. So that is so try to follow as much as you really can do it.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. That is true.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because see, like we were all, you all must be watching many of the people cricket yesterday. I didn't watch, but like everyone was so much praising
Yes.
that, like, yeah. And so like all everyone around me, because I was having like almost 15 16 people in my house from last few days. So everyone was so much interested that like we were just everyone was talking about that only. So what I was able to hear is about the bowling and batting. So it needs so much of a focus. You should be very focused while doing that activity. If you are not focused, you can lose. I mean, anytime you can lose, right? If the bowler is not doing it like properly, then like we would have lost the match yesterday, for example. And that is all I came to know from like people around me. So
That
while doing that bowling, he needed that focus. And when you are distracted by the 10 other things, that you will completely lose that. So even for the material activity, you need so much of a power, like sorry, you need so much of a focus, one pointed focus you need. Then you have to follow all the rules and regulation, otherwise it will be wild ball. I mean, you are, even if you it is a best ball, but if your leg is not in within that line, and if you are crossing the line, then that is of useless. So rules and regulations are there in the material world also, and everyone follows that to win the game, to get the power. So when it comes to the spiritual life, people start looking for so many loopholes. Let me do that. Okay, so you are doing Ekadashi, and by not like, kind breaking the fast like a day before only, or Ekadashi day, in the evening time I can eat, after 12 o'clock I can eat. If that kind of a thing, that means it is like your mind is distracted, and you are stepping ahead of the line, and then bowling means every day, full day you did the Ekadashi. And then so it is going to be like you are giving one run to the opposite party, right? It is a wild ball. So this is what is there. So Mataji, some rules are very important to follow. Some rules are so there are really core rules, and then there are additional rules. So these additional rules are can be bent. That can be bent. That can be you ignore. Sometimes you can adjust that, but the core rules you have to follow those. So like that in the in with our in our when I go to the job, there is certain attire that I have to wear certain kind of attire, say Western attire, completely cover your body. And then, so there are certain basic rules are there. But then there are some other things that, oh, it will be nice if you can wear the blazer every day. But it is not necessary. So you can adjust that blazer thing. But you have to follow the core rules. Like that, in Krishna consciousness, some rules are very, very important that you have to or everyone must follow. And that is not about the Krishna consciousness. If you go and cross over, and I'd been like listening to so many different spiritual acharyas in Maharashtra, and they are not from the ISKCON. They doesn't belong from the ISKCON. They are from the very different sampradaya. There is a Nath sampradaya, and I see that whatever that core rules are there, they are there also. If you see that these core rules are followed by every spiritually advanced person, so that you have to follow. The other things you can definitely adjust, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you,
Sorry, I
Mataji,
don't.
so much. No, no, very, very nice. Yeah. So I wasn't following that previous day and after. So I will try to follow that. Though for Tulsi, because I don't have the real Tulsi, especially in the winters, it's difficult. So I dry them in the summers, and then the dried Tulsi I put on Ekadashi day, for the fast. Yeah.
That's perfectly fine, Mataji. These are perfect thing. Even I was having the dry tulsi stem, so that also I used to just put it and take it out because I was not even having even the dry tulsi leaf. And then my Guru Maharaj said, if you don't have, like, you are some place that there is no tulsi at all, you just say three times tulsi, 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 as if you offered it to the food and then offer it. But this you are supposed to do it when it is very inconvenient, or the place where there is no tulsi at all. Now I have a tulsi plant, and if I'll say that tulsi, tulsi, tulsi three times, so that, like, I'm avoiding to take this trouble to go pluck the tulsi leaf, wash it, and put it on it. So these are the things I'm saying. Yes, bhav is important. Dry leaves are fine, anything is fine when it is not available. But if it is available, then definitely please do that. Otherwise, it is definitely, yeah.
Thank,
Krishna is looking at in your heart. Yeah. Thank you,
thank you, Mataji.
Mataji. Yeah. Hari Hari Bol. Any last word? Anything anybody would like to add? Vikas Prabhu, anything you want to say before we close this? Only 2 minutes left. Okay, I think he left.
Yeah,
Bali
the
Mataji, sorry?
one thing which for sure that we're part and parcel of Krishna, So our deeper intention is to be lordship on material things, materials. So we
Yeah.
was trying to copy the Krishna, but
Yeah.
we forgot the detachment of it. What Krishna has a detachment power, and we don't. So we get
Mm.
attached and we get into trouble. So that's simply as the Prabhupada says in the beginning of the chapter. I forgot the page number, but we're part and parcel of Krishna. The Lordship is in our nature, deep
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we forget the one thing is detachment. The
Yeah.
Krishna shows a detachment when he was in this material world, and we forget the detachment, and we get in trouble. Simple as that.
Yeah. And second important thing is very, very true, that because we are in parts and parcel, so we have the tendency to control and enjoy. But we are forgetting that, like, Krishna is enjoying and controlling because it's really coming from him. These are his energy. Everything belongs to Krishna. People take objection that why Krishna is enjoying 16,000, why he's enjoying with the gopis. But they are all Krishna's, they are all part of Radharani, and they all belong to Krishna. That is Krishna's property. Like, if it is my house, I can go and eat anytime, anything. But if I'm going to someone else's house, I'm a guest there, then, like, I will be careful. I will just, accept whatever that guest is giving me. So that is a big difference, that we are part and parcel. We have that tendency, but these things that we are enjoying or lording it over, that doesn't belong to us. we have a small quota kept aside, that you just take it, accept it, enjoy it, that is fine. But we try to collect so much and we are just snatching from the others and trying to enjoying, that is a wrong thing. So Krishna is enjoying the 16,000 wives because they are Krishna's wives. Everyone is Krishna's Prakriti. Everyone is there for so that Krishna can enjoy them. But we are like that servant who is working in big man's house, big rich man's house. Now that rich man's everything is rich man's property, so rich man can go to any room, any bedroom, he can sleep anywhere, he can eat anywhere. But servant is not supposed to do that. He's supposed to follow the rules. Even if servant also wants that, oh, that must be really nice, that going and sleeping in on that bed. And one day, if servant tries that, he will be fired. And we are exactly doing that. We are taking advantage of Krishna's property. Not even when I'm saying that others we snatch, it doesn't belong to anyone. It's everything belongs to Krishna. And we are just taking disadvantage of that. So yes, tendency is there in us, but this doesn't belong to us. We have to keep reminding us. And Krishna is so showing detachment. He's also showing us how to serve properly. He became a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and took a form of a devotee just for just to show that how to be a good devotee, how to surrender ourselves to Krishna. He became a, even if he was in a came as a Krishna, as it is, he came into on this material world, in this material world. Still, he became a Sarathi of Arjuna, and showing them, like, if your loved ones are there, you have to take a humble position. Don't mind, like, if taking the servant position. And then when we are saying that I am surrendering to Krishna, I love Krishna, that surrender is not like just servant and master relationship, but I'm saying that I'm going beyond that, that I love Krishna and I want him to be my friend. Want him to be my son. I want to love him like, like a conjugal lover. In that case, when you are loving someone, you automatically become or take a lower position. When you love even your family members, you love your children, you automatically become like their servant. You start like giving them everything, everything they want, everything they like. You sacrifice your time, your body, your money, so that you can serve them better. So that comes automatically, and that should be there in us, in like all our activities. Thank you.
Hare
Sorry, I
Krishna.
don't know, Prabhuji, what you were saying, but I just took this opportunity to express some of my points that I
Nice.
missed
Very
earlier.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here to learn, Mataji. I'm learning every time. Thank you. No problem.
Thank you, Prabhuji. No, I'm just sharing what Krishna is inspiring me to share. Yeah, so sorry that this time I didn't get a chance to even prepare. But then I thought, like, today I will just speak what Krishna is allowing me to speak. I mean, every day that's what Krishna, every second is allowing me to speak, and that's what I'm speaking. But yeah, so today's class was, yeah.
What comes naturally is the best, Mataji. If you prepare, it will be like for a class, but if you do like this, that is coming out of your heart and you're pouring everything whatever comes right from there. And I heard Prabhupada also, when he's interviewed by someone, he says, who is inspiring? Krishna is no, Krishna is doing all this. Krishna is not inspiring. That's what he told.
Yeah,
So yeah, he
yeah,
is not only right there and making us
yeah.
nachao, that's it. It's a right.
That is the beautiful
Yeah.
point. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is the best class and all. I think
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
agree with you and all. This is the best class, and you need not to prepare for anything and all. You can just speak what is coming from your heart. That is the best.
Thank you.
Today
Thank
is
you
the
so
best
much,
class.
Prabhuji. Yeah, prepare means I just go through the Chaitanya Charan Das Prabhuji's some lectures and take out the points. But today I didn't even do that also. I just 2, 3 lectures were open 15 minutes before the class. I said, okay, let me see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. That was very encouraging. And thank you that you all come and attend this class and give me opportunity to share. And Krishna is also allowing me to do this service. So I'm really thankful to Krishna and all of you.
especially explaining about your Satvik, Tamsik, and Rajasi day in the day and all. That is very well explained.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Prabhuji. Yeah. Yeah. You-
And also, please take off your sleep, Mataji. That is very, very important. Even if they say it is tamasic, that helps us to prepare for sattvic for the daytime, right? Otherwise, we can't
Yes.
even. Yesterday also, I was having the same problem. I was almost falling asleep while chanting and doing the song.
Uh,
And yeah, we have to take care, at least get that 5 to 6 hours of sleep every day.
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I know it is summer, and with everyone in the house, it is very hard to manage
Yeah.
the schedule, everything. So,
Thank you,
I
Mataji.
talking of Tamsik, Rajsik, Mataji, I have a question. Why do they say that when day is turning, day and night are meeting, evening hours, morning hours, the best for prayers, when night and day conjunction is happening? Any
That
particular
is called as a Sandhya Kal, Mataji. That is called as a Sandhya. Sandhya means, like, when one time is there is a meeting of these two periods. Yeah, you're right. Uh, I don't know the science behind it, but like our scriptures are saying that all these Sandhya times you have to do the chanting, and then like even the I received the Gayatri mantra, so chant it at the Sandhya time only. But I have a complete book on Gayatri mantra. I will try to find out that what is the science behind it, that why that period is so important. So I will give
Yeah.
you answer in my next class,
No
Mataji.
problem. Even for the
okay.
morning also, now between when the day breaks and the day
Yes.
Yeah.
starts, even morning and evening both, right?
Yeah.
No, they say
Morning,
Trisandhya, Mataji.
Morning,
It is
evening, and
Trisandhya. There are the
midday
three,
also.
morning,
3 times.
afternoon, evening, Mataji.
Yeah.
Morning, afternoon, evening, and some people do it even in the night time also. Like, that prahar, there are four prahars are there and all that. So that calculation is there. So I will definitely I will explain you that why.
Thank you.
Yes, Mataji. When I
Mm.
got the initiation, second initiation, my Guru Maharaj explained that there are three sandhyas we should do, and so the time is 6 to 7 morning and 12 to 1 afternoon, and again 6 to 7 evening, and it is related to sunrise and sunset also. So if this is a standard time, but sometimes in daylight saving it changes, right? So we can do our Gayatri according to the sunset and sunrise, and that 1 hour is nakshatra and Surya and Prithvi all are in the
Aligned or something.
align, yeah, and that is a very
They
auspicious
get the
time.
effect of both
Yeah.
day and both
Yeah.
sanjas, and also when the stars also, when Revati is the last one, and when it turns to Ashwini. Today is Ashwini and yesterday was Revati, like that. So
Yes.
today is
Yeah.
very auspicious, like called nakshatra sandhya, they say. So
Yes, right,
for months
Mataji.
and for stars also it has the
So that time
the
is very
turning. It is like
auspicious.
the intersection point. That's the one.
Yeah. So that time is very auspicious. So if we do our Gayatri mantra or our Hare Krishna mantra in that period, it gives a lot of benefit to us. And we also can focus on that mantra. And if we do our Gayatri in that period of time. So that's how Maharaj explained.
Thank you so much, Savita Mataji.
Hmm. Thank you,
You for
Mataji.
asking
Thank you.
question, Mataji.
Thank you, Shamarasika Mataji and Nikunjadas Prabhuji.
This class was very nice, Mataji, and you explained about Varta, how we can start Ekadashi on Dashmi Tithi and break it on the next day, Dwadashi, with
Yeah,
the period of time. And yeah, sometime next time, if you have time, you can explain about mm, that story, the pastimes of Amrish Maharaj, about the breaking the fast.
that was
Because tomorrow is Ekadashi, so
Today is
yeah.
Dasmi. From today evening we have to start fast.
yeah.
Right,
Actually,
right.
that
Tomorrow
will
is a
start
very
from.
important Ekadashi, so yeah, we all will
Yes.
definitely will do
Next
that.
time, next Sunday, you can explain, Mataji, because now if you might be running late because
It
you
is
have guests.
8:40, so yes,
Yeah.
next Sunday we will start with the story and then we will do the In fact, why we do Ekadashi, that is also very nicely explained by Amarendra Prabhu. Sometimes I believe.
Yes, yeah.
And I like that scientific part. So whenever I talk to the young people, in few minutes they will be convinced that they should do the Ekadashi. So yeah, I mean, not every time they are able to follow, because in their college time and everything, it is hard for them. But we have to understand that why we do Ekadashi also. Like there are some stories behind it, but then there are some scientific reasons behind it. So maybe I'll cover that also. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to speak again. We will stop here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo
पतितानां
patitanam
पावनेभ्यो
pavanebhyo
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti
अनन्तकोटि
Vaishnavrinda
वैष्णववृन्द
ki
की
jai.
शिला
So
Namacharya
की
Mataji,
जय
Jai. So
ki jai.
Nikunjaras Prabhu was explaining that period of is morning Brahma Muhurta also and evening also Brahma Muhurta. So that he wanted to tell. Yeah. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavad Pranam. All Vishnu Prabhupada Guru Maharaj.